Boozy Chocolate Pie. Oh, it's gonna be so good. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is make the crust. It's a graham cracker crust because that's just the perfect thing to have with chocolate pie. So yeah, food processor. If you don't have one of these, I'm sure you can find a clever way to break up your grams. Yeah, just get it started. We need 1.5 cups of blended grams, which I think is gonna be approximately 1 packet. We'll cross our fingers. In she goes. And just blend that up. There's a few chunks that don't want to get blended in, so we pulse. Which way is it? It's different in every food processor, isn't it? Oh, there's still a few chunks. Ah, what is blue in here? God knows. Take it out. Don't think about it. Okay, check in here. That's great, we got some fine graham crumbs. That's excellent. Okay, so this is gonna make a 9-inch pie. It's a 9-inch pie plate. Get rid of your little thing here. Let's see how many crumbs this made. A little 1/2 cup measure here. Uh-oh, I think we're gonna be short. And after I put everything in the sink too. Okay, it's 1/2 cup. Slightly over a 1/2 cup. Oh, it might be close. Wasn't spilling everything out. 1/4 cup. You know what, we're just gonna roll with this and see if we can't get it to fill out the crust. I think it's gonna be fine. Get every last crumb out of there. Recruiting everyone to the front lines. Okay, so now we're just gonna mix this up in the pie plate. Go ahead. You need 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of melted butter, a pinch of salt, which is like 3 fingers, 1/8 of a teaspoon, whatever. And just pour that in. Okay, so now we're going in. Mix it up. When you first start, you're like, oh God, I'm gonna need a lot more butter than this. No, you don't, it's fine. Just keep working it. Distribute the liquid. I really think this was closer to 1.5 cups, and my pouring skills are just pretty terrible. Yeah, this is probably plenty. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, start in the middle. You want it thin, and you wanna pat it up the sides. All the way around. Do you hear that sound? It's my neighbor breaking up the ice on the front walk, which is very kind of them. Almost slipped and busted my ass earlier. That would have been unfortunate. So now that we've got it kind of distributed, you can use the flat part of your measuring cup here and kind of pack it in. Very nice. Yeah, this is plenty. Okay, so now you can take the pie thing, but also fingers are nice, and just where it's too tall, knock it back down. What we're trying to do is create a semi-even pie crust along the edges. And then I'm using my fingers here. You want to create a flat little lip all along. So now I come back through with a finger if you want it to look really perfect and like really flatten that top edge. And also keep in mind, we're gonna bake this in the oven, and after about 7 minutes, we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna do all this again because it likes to sag when the butter gets warm. And you just kind of gotta encourage it and be like, no, stand up straight. It's good for your posture. Did I forget to tell you? I did forget to tell you. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Fill in any cracks you see, dust off. Okay, so into a 375 degree oven for about 7 minutes, and then we'll check it. The crust is finished. 7 minutes, and you can see it started to caramelize. It's got that nice dark brown loveliness on it. So go ahead and take your measuring cup, careful it's hot, and repack anything down that looks like it's trying to get away from you, okay? But actually this held together pretty freaking well. How lovely. All right, so the chocolate pie filling is gonna be, it needs to chill once we've made it. And to expedite that process, we're gonna stick this fucker in the freezer, and it's gonna just give us a jump start on cooling that pie. So into the freezer with this until we're ready for it. Oh, that's cold. Here we go. Okay, so what you need to do before you do anything else is brew 12 ounces of piping hot coffee. This is not like instant Folgers. It can be whatever coffee you normally drink, but you need to brew it through your coffee pot, okay? The custard we're making today is made entirely in the blender. It's genius. You don't have to stand over a stove being like, fuck, 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 I'm gonna scramble my eggs. We're gonna make the custard in the blender. But eggs cook or thicken at 170 degrees, and your coffee needs to be hotter than that, but not boiling. So how your coffee maker normally brews it. Brew yourself 12 ounces of coffee, then we're gonna continue. 2 cups of dark chocolate. Okay. Couple of dashes, about 3 drops of bitters. I'm using Angostura, 2, 3. It's like a cinnamon clovey bitter, it's so nice. About 1 ounce of bourbon. You could also use rum or brandy, but dark liqueurs work really well with chocolate. We need 4 egg yolks. Whoop. 1. Okay, be really sure you got egg whites all over the counter. And you can leave this here if you want a little salmonella in your life, but you know, probably wipe it up. These eggs are so freaking pasteurized though, like, it's fine. All right, pinch of salt always. That's like 3 fingers or 1/8 of a teaspoon if you really need to be precise. Okay, the lid on, get your hot coffee. To give you just an idea of this, boiling is approximately 212 degrees depending on your altitude. Eggs cook at 170. We need to not scramble the eggs, but we need them to be hot enough that they actually cook and are gonna thicken this. So it's important that you stream it in slowly. Now you might be asking, why didn't she make that in the food processor that she's already dirtied? It's a great question. It's actually a lot easier to break or have the liquid separate and not come together into a nice thick custard and a food processor just because of the way the bowl is shaped. You can do it, but it's really, really challenging. So I'm gonna say use a blender, okay? Here we go. You can hear a change in the sound when the custard thickens. It goes from like watery to kind of gluppy sounding. And what we have, aside from a lone chip stuck to the side there, is a nice thick custard. You may not need all the 12 ounces of coffee. You really just want to add it until your custard thickens. If you've added all 12 ounces of the coffee and you check in here and it's still running like water, you've probably broken your custard. It's okay, that happens. There's a way to fix it. I have that detailed on cleavercooking.com if you search this recipe. But this is what you should end up with if you slowly poured in that hot, hot coffee, okay? Grand, we just made custard in the blender. You're a fucking genius. Not to mention it's dairy-free, which is highly convenient for a lot of people. All right, so now clean up. We're gonna bring out our graham crust, pour it in there, and that's your chocolate pie. Taste your mixture though. Make sure it's really good. Ooh, needs a little salt, usually does. Probably do that before you take it off the blender base, but here we are. Good enough. All right, y'all, I'm gonna be entirely honest here. I fucked up that first batch of chocolate filling. Oh, I flubbed it. Fuck. What I did wrong is I did not blend it long enough to get the chips small enough to actually melt when the hot coffee streamed in. So when I started to pour it in there, I had chunks. And I already poured it in, so I couldn't scrape it back out without pulling up the crust. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop it out, and we're gonna put it back in, and we're gonna blend it again. No, it's ruined. The crust is ruined.
Cut here?
Yeah, yep, just cut it out. Pretend it's gone.
Oh, damn it!
So I had to make a new crust and a new filling. But fortunately, it's a very easy recipe. So here we are with a brand new crust, a brand new filling, which is actually better because I put a little bit more bitters in it, and I put a little bit of spite into it. And it's just delicious. It's fantastic. You need that spite. Okay, so blend up your shit before you put that coffee in so it actually streams in. Here we go. We got this graham crust. We got our beautiful chocolate filling. Yes, queen. And into the crust. Be sure you get up there and like gouge a chunk out of your silicone spatula with the blades to get all that good chocolate out. It's a necessary sacrifice. Steady. Okay, here we go. Spread her out. Yeah, you didn't think that was gonna be enough, did you? Haha! So then you can do this fun little peanut butter swirl back and forth, back and forth. Boom! Mmm! Oh, it's good. This needs to go in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Overnight is optimal. Then it's this fantastic, just lovely solid filling. You can sprinkle just some flake salt on top of it once it's cool, which is really lovely. Serve it with some whipped cream, whatever you'd like. All right, y'all, that is Boozy Chocolate Pie. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. You can find the full recipe, all the ratios, how not to fuck this up on the website, cleavercooking.com, as well as how to fix your sauce if you do happen to break it, which happens sometimes, just does. We have a new product out called Date Night In, Eat, Make, Love. Head to our website to find that. And don't fuck up your chocolate pie.